There's a few terms that whenever I see them pop up on the board, I have standard replies that I always bring up addressing them. There's two that really come to mind. One was Hell Week, which was used for a long time at the beginning of our site, which I always felt like gave a negative connotation of what a 7-day period was going to be like when a person would quit smoking. Do some people have a hard time the first few days? Sure they do. But most people don't have a hard time for the full 7 days. There are people who don't have a hard time for the 3 days. And to give this connotation that the first week is just hell, it's giving a perception which does not need to be there for people who aren't going to have it, because it could set up a self-fulfilling prophecy. That just no reason to have that concept. Plus, it was something we always kind of try to bring up, the pain or suffering that a person might go through when they quit smoking. What they will call a hellish experience is nothing compared to the pain and suffering a person can go through if they don't quit smoking and get anything wrong that smoking can cause. So that's one of the terms. The other one is the nicodemon. I don't know when nicodemon originally started. When I was doing clinics, live programs, and I did those until 2006, I never had a single person come into a program who had heard the term nicodemon. It's something that basically got created on internet sites. And we had a string at Freedom and through YQuit for a very long time on nicodemon lies. And that string was actually pretty good, because it gave this idea of what people were hearing in their head and then what the reality of the situation was. But there was one thing that needed to be at the tail end of that. And I felt like the thing didn't bother me until I realized it was the one thing that was missing. And that was the final lie that we threw in. And that was that there was no nicodemon. That part itself was the biggest lie of all. When that got thrown in, I really enjoyed that string a lot, because again, it just showed what was going on in people's own minds. But the way it's used by a lot of groups, by a lot of people, by a lot of individuals, is that there really is some supernatural kind of force out there that can really do you in. There's this demon out there. It's giving strength, it's giving power to an inanimate object. Nicotine, yes, it's a drug, but it's a drug that can only take control of you if you get it into your system, if you put it into your system. It's not out there having some sort of magic grip on you. It will if you administer it, but as long as it's out of your system, it can't do that. Are there mind games that you can play that can make it easier to put it into your system? Yeah, but it's you doing it. It's not some external source. So whenever that term comes up, again, whenever Hell Week comes up, we attach the strings that really address those issues. There's probably a few others that I can't think of right now, but if they were to show up on the board, they'll come right to me and they'll get attached in. I don't want the people to feel attacked when we see this, because again, I understand they saw something like this probably at other sites. I don't believe they saw it at our site, because if they did, they would have saw the response instantly, because we almost never miss. And it's not just me who does this now. Most of the managers, when they see these terms, will attach it. And you know what? There's individual readers at the site now who know to attach those things in. That we have, pretty strong stand on some of these concepts that it's kind of well known. But I do suspect they see it at other sites, and it seems like a novel idea. It seems like a helpful idea. It seems a real issue. But we kind of want people to know where our stand is on these things. It fits under the category of conventional quitting wisdoms. There's lots of things that are, accepted elsewhere, but when we really break them down, we don't think they're in the best interest of people reading here to keep conventional wisdoms. So if you go through our conventional wisdom video, it'll help explain some of this concept. Most important thing here, though, is on the two, which I think, again, I feel the most crucial about, the Hell Week issue. Again, the way I always put it into the final thing, there really can be a Hell Week. It's the week you lose your quit. But it's not just the hell week when that comes down to it. You're talking about a possible potential hellish rest of your life because of your smoking. The week is, maybe when it's the most vibrant to you because you remember how far you had come and how far gone you are now, but the ramification of that week. And it's not the ramification of the week, the ramification of that puff, the first one you took at the beginning of that week. That's what caused all the problems that go with it. So that's one of the concepts, the Hell Week idea, and the existence of a nicodemon. There is no demon. There is a drug addiction. It's one you beat by, again, not being stronger than a demon. It's being smarter than an inanimate object that has an IQ of 0. There is no problem being smarter than something that has an IQ of 0. The way you overcome that problem, the way you overcome that item that's trying to drag you in your mind, being smarter than it by recognizing if you don't put it in your system, it can't do a darn thing to you. And you can keep control over it forever as long as you simply stick to the commitment that you hopefully made the day you stopped to never take another puff.